Hi, I'm Graeme S. I'm the project leader of the New South Wales DPI More Profit from Nitrogen research project, which has been ongoing for the last 5 years. We've just had our final get-together meeting here in Cairns a few days ago, and we basically looked through our many years of data and experiments and had to address our initial research questions. So first of all, we were looking at what the current knowledge is on nitrogen use efficiency under irrigated cotton centred in northern New South Wales. And I guess what came out of that review was that there's been an increase over the years in the amount of nitrogen fertiliser being applied, but not necessarily being followed with an increase in cotton lint yields. So that means that there's other things limiting yield apart from nitrogen. So therefore our project was looking at some of, not some of those other things, but really looking at, okay, if we're getting nitrogen, we'll make sure it's not being lost in the process, so that we're getting the value from the nitrogen that we are putting on. We also looked at making sure that we were putting on at a budgeted amount that included the nitrogen that's already residual in the soil pool before the crop goes in, and that enabled us to bring the rates that we use to get optimal yields down by quite a lot in a number of cases. And we also still had a industry level rate of nitrogen fertiliser, and in none of the 4 years do we find an increase in yield by putting that extra fertiliser on. So the budgeted rate really works. And another part of our project was looking at the mineralisation of organic matter into nitrogen for the crop. So we looked at how that's influenced by different irrigation frequency treatments. And I guess in a nutshell, the more frequent irrigation strategy resulted in more nitrogen being mineralised over the season due to more wetting and drying cycles through the season. Those irrigation strategies were also investigated for any possible interactions with nitrogen placement treatments, such as the timing of when the fertiliser goes in. We didn't find any direct interactions, but we did find both those irrigation strategies and the timing treatments on their own had effects on the cotton lint yields, although those effects of the timing differed between the different seasons that we had. So whether it was a dry season or a really wet season affected how those timing treatments influenced the crop. We also saw there were strong interactions with the phosphorus supply of the crop as well. We also looked at other nitrogen loss processes, such as the runoff in the irrigation water and also the potential for volatilisation from ammonia. Particularly, we found it was high where it was applied as injected ammonia into the irrigation water. So those are some of the very many things that we looked at over the project, and they will be available on the website to read in more detail in coming months. Thank you.